I'm surviving here for 2 years, and then I don't feel like it's not that impossible thing to live in Vancouver. Exchanging of this much money, I'm gaining higher education in Canada. It's a Canada. And then
Yeah.
plus the air quality, the environment, people are so nice, and cultural exchange is really invaluable thing by money. So I'm really glad that I chose Canada.
Hi, my name is Starity, and I'm the host of this podcast. Today I'm here with my guest, Khuslen. Khuslen is an international student at UCW from Mongolia studying MBA in finance.
Hi, thank you for
How are
inviting
you?
me.
Of course. Love having you on the show.
Oh, I'm
Um,
doing good. This morning I had a class. Yeah.
yeah, that's good. Okay, so to start off, I thought I'd ask you a fun question. What's it like living in a country that has winters that last half the year?
Well, I come from Mongolia, and then our countries like winter continues for like 4 months. But I came from the coldest capital city in the world, the coldest one, like a minus 40 in the winter. So like comparing to that, Vancouver's winter is a kindergarten, much peaceful.
Wow. Wow. That's a lot. All right. Yeah. So, in this podcast, we're going to talk a little bit more about your day to day experience. We're going to talk a little bit about how you adjusted to the weather here, which I guess you probably did pretty well since it's a bit colder there, like you said. And yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about what UCW offers in terms of like clubs, sports, networking, that sort of thing, and a bit more in your day to day life of like, yeah, just how you balance school with like work and with friends, and also just the cost of living here, cost of education with like tuition, books, and rent as well, all of that. So, yeah, but without further ado, I'm going to jump into my next question. So, what has it been like for you in your experience going to post secondary versus high school?
Oh well, there's a lot of difference. Well, when I was in high school, I'm kind of a shy person. And then
Okay.
my teachers kind of like try to like push me well to become more confident about my skill and everything. But like as for university, nobody cares. But
Yeah,
me, I am fully responsible of my all things. And
that's
then
true.
it really shaped me really differently.
And like, okay, yeah. And have you found it more challenging than going to university?
Exactly. It's more challenging. And then um the other differences is I chose my major and I chose my university. So it's kind of like as for like high school, I thought it's really mandatory, but even though I don't like it, I have to go, right? I got a feeling. So like as for like a course wise, homework wise, I'm kind of feels like, uh, boy, like it's really boring or something. But as for university, I chose it, so even though it's boring, I need to push myself to the limit to learn
Right,
that course well.
right, for sure. And what's it been like for you in terms of living here, in terms of like costs with like rent and tuition and books and all that?
Well, education is really a luxury. As for international student in Canada, it's really expensive. I'm not gonna lie.
Of
As for my
course.
school, it's tuition itself is around 50,000. The whole program itself, 50,000 Canadian dollar, and then plus 2 years cost of living. I like to tell it's almost 100,000 in 2 years. That this is what I'm spending. And cost of living, yeah, I heard from so many people that like Vancouver is really expensive. The rent is unaffordable. But
Yeah.
somehow I'm surviving here for 2 years, and then I don't feel like it's not that impossible thing to live in Vancouver.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
And
also um, exchanging of this much money, I'm gaining higher education in Canada. It's a Canada. And then
yeah.
plus the air quality, the environment, people are so nice, and cultural exchange is really invaluable thing by money. So I'm really glad that I chose Canada.
And now at UCW, are your books included in the tuition that you're paying or do you pay those separately?
Oh, I pay it separately. So like every course demands ebook, which is around 50 to 100 dollar. It's kind of like there is no physical copy. It's fully
Mm.
online, and then all the homeworks and exam is on from that book. So I need to buy it.
Oh,
It's
so you really need
mandatory.
to like, study the book. And is
Hmm.
there any opportunity for you to find books that are maybe a bit cheaper than like is there a way that you can, or I guess because it's online, there's no really.
Well, I can find the PDF version of that book really cheaply or sometimes free, but those assignments, it's all on the website, so I have to buy it, even though there's a free version.
Oh, I see. Yeah. And what's it like for you in terms of rent? Is it affordable where you're living, or are you finding it a little bit pricey?
Well, compared to my home country, it's almost four times more expensive. But because of the currency exchange rate, the salary I got from here is
Mhm.
also like a three times higher than Mongolia. So it's kind
Mm.
of really not much different. And also like grocery is kind of cheaper here and
Oh,
also more
okay.
healthy now. So as for me, I pay 1,000 for with a private bathroom.
Okay.
Found it a really good deal. It's in
Yeah.
Vancouver.
It's nice that you have your own bathroom as well, because a lot of
Yeah,
people they don't get that luxury, right? So it's really nice that you get to have your own bathroom and your own room. No,
yeah.
that's great. Um, Now I have a question about the multiculturalism aspect because I know that Vancouver has a lot of multiculturalism. So how do you think multiculturalism shapes student life?
Well, I don't feels like Vancouver is a really foreign country because of this multiculturalism. If it was like a full of European people or like full of one national people, I might feel like I'm the outsider. Might feel it might be really difficult to fit in. But in Canada, especially in Vancouver, I feels like everyone is from most of us is comes from different country, and then everyone shares the same problem, same situation, so we really understand each other even though we're from different country. We really understand, and Vancouver people are really nice, I can tell.
Yes, that's true. I definitely do agree with that as well. Since I've moved here, I've definitely found the people here to be, yeah, some of the best people, honestly. And it's been like, I mean, I've traveled not to many different countries, but I've definitely, for sure, from the other places that I've traveled, other countries, I've definitely found people here to be a lot nicer. Yeah. But I think that's something that's known about Canada too, as Canadians. We're just known to be more open and friendly. And yeah. Now I want to know a little bit about or how you balance studying with like having a job and having a social life. How do you make all that work?
Well, I'm really privileged that I do freelancing for as a part-time job. I am Even though I'm studying MBA finance right now, my real major, like a previous major, is a Bachelor of Fine Art. So I
Mm.
do watercolor commissions like this.
Oh wow, that's
So
beautiful.
I don't have like an office job, so I can do it from home and in my free time. And then there's nothing much I need to balance, but the schoolwork is kind of hard. There's so
Yeah,
many assignments, so many group projects, and at the same time, I need friends to survive in Vancouver, right?
of
Everyone is
course.
talking about
Totally.
networking is everything. I need
Hmm.
some other social circle than my school environment. So I like to join in some kind of socializing event I found from Meetup application. And then
Mm.
there's a meetings I like to join is a finance and accounting meeting in Vancouver.
Mm.
And another one is I have my friends doing once in a week we share a tea in Richmond Center. It's
Oh,
so
nice.
like sweet that one person brings a kettle, one person brings all the cups, and then we just sit in the food court and then sharing a tea and talking about how was the week.
Oh, that's cute. Like having like a little tea party in the mall.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I
And
love
it's
that.
totally free.
Yeah, of course. And the mall lets you do it. So hey, I mean that works. Whatever works, right?
Hmm. And then we like to
Wow.
bring more friends to the circle to share more experiences. Like
Yeah, that's really
every
good.
person brings their own new perspective of life, which we like to
Mm,
share during enjoying the tea.
yeah, that's good. And I definitely think that a lot of people here could definitely benefit from that. Because I know, Vancouver for some can be definitely a lonely city, and some people try to find friends. And so I think that's a great thing. Also, especially because like winter's coming around soon too, right? And then getting to go in a nice warm place and having hot tea is definitely, nice. And you also get to like be with other people, so you don't feel so, I guess, alone in the winter season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And that also it's always nice to have someone to share my life with. Like even
of course,
it doesn't have to be like romantic partner. There's so many other valuable relationship in
of course,
person's
absolutely,
life. Yeah, friends,
100%.
siblings, even acquaintances is
Yeah, I
really
agree. It's just being surrounded by other people in general, I think, is just very important to your mental health, and it's just, yeah, it's your well-being. I definitely agree with that. Now I know you talked a little bit at the beginning about the weather in Mongolia. Now I want to know, how was it for you to transition from the climate there to the climate here? Maybe in Vancouver it's not as cold, but I know that we definitely have a lot of like a wet, rainy season. I'm not sure if it's similar in Mongolia. How did you adjust to that?
well. It's really interesting question because I always feels like Vancouver and city I come from, Ulaanbaatar, kind of sharing similar weather. Even like air is kind of like a free, airy, has a wind. But yeah, during the winter, like almost 5 months, Vancouver has a rain, right? And then I didn't know that I lack of that much of sunlight during the winter. It was kind
Mm,
of difficult to adjust. The first winter I spent in Vancouver, I didn't realize that. But like the
mm,
second year, I feels like, oh gosh, where's the sun? And then I did some sun, and it kind of makes me feeling down. And then last winter, I really understood what is those like winter depression is. Whenever
mm.
sun goes out, I like to spend whole day outside. Like whatever
Yes.
happens, I like to be out and then enjoy the sun. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like physically that difficult to adapt the weather here, but mentally, like
Mm,
understand that the sun goes down around 4 p.m. for 3 months. It's
yeah.
difficult
It's,
to.
I agree. It's definitely challenging. Even for me, who's like grown up in BC my whole life, like I feel the same way. I think like it's not necessarily that I'm more sad during the winter time, but it's like I know that even on my happiest days, I'm not as happy as like during the summer or like when the sun is out later, you know? Like I think it definitely does play with my mood as well. And I think it affects a lot of people's moods, honestly. I think that's pretty normal. Like just, the lack of sunlight, lack of vitamin D. I think it definitely does affect us a little bit, which is why I think like definitely recommend like yeah always try to surround yourself with people, be around other people because that'll definitely help you get through it and find ways to keep you busy during those seasons. Because I know for myself as well, like yeah, when it's dark and cold outside really early, it's like well it doesn't make you want to go out as much. It's like you already see it's dark outside.
Yeah,
Already looks like bedtime, and especially it's like super cold. And I think for me that's the biggest thing too with like the cold. I just open the door and boom, the cold air comes in, and that automatically is a turn off. And so it kind of like deters you from wanting to go out and do things. But I definitely still recommend it. It's still important to, even though it's cold and it gets dark earlier, to definitely not remain isolated, to spend time with friends, see people, do things. Yeah, because that'll definitely help you get
yeah.
through the season a little
Also, like
faster.
wearing raincoat all the time, wearing the rain boots for 3, 4 months is challenging. It's really heavy though.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely important to like, yeah, I guess like always have also that rain gear too on the side, just because you never know when it's gonna rain, especially in the fall and winter time. It could the morning could be nice, and then in the afternoon it's just pouring rain, right? So it's always important to be equipped because I know I've definitely there were times when I've gone out and I wasn't equipped, and then I get caught in the rain and I get wet, and that's not fun. So yeah, definitely making sure to be equipped for the season is important. Now, my next question. I want to jump into a little bit about what does UCW have to offer? Like in terms of clubs, sports, extracurriculars, things for international students. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I really like that UCW offers a lot of workshops about the career wise, like a networking events, how to write a Canadian style resume, and also how to apply job. Everything like technically, it's offer really good workshops. Also, it's really
Mm,
quality. It has a really good quality. I attended a few times about like how to apply for a postgraduate work permit and those things. As for like extracurricular activities, there I can tell there is not much clubs there. Maybe I'm
mm,
not aware of that. In the first few months, I really looking for some artsy people club from my school,
mm.
and then I just gave up. And then
Oh,
also like the school works were like too much. In here, like courses going on is really different from my home country. So, first half year, I learned how to learn.
mm.
There's not much time for socializing. And then after a year, now I'm kind of like feeling free and then trying to socialize more. Right now, I'm a last term student, graduating soon, finally.
Yay! Congratulations. That must be exciting.
Thank you.
Nice. Now, do they offer a lot of things for international students at UCW? Like, are there a lot of opportunities for international students?
Well, there is some career fair and also alumni networking events.
Mm,
And
that's
then,
good.
yeah, it offers well things like networking is everything. Even like there's some alumni having a good job in the corporate in like Canadian corporate jobs, so they can refer us to having a good position after our graduation. And then
Mm,
also, I really like their Vancouver campus, which is really
hmm.
modern, and then
Yeah,
all classes well equipped with the like TVs, like even like all the table and chairs feels like new. I think it's new.
probably. Yeah. I mean, I've never been inside, but I've seen the school from the outside and it does look quite modern. It does look quite nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I really
agree.
like. And then um, let me think about the other advantage benefits for the students. Also, I can tell that our school's MBA program is the most affordable one in Vancouver.
Hmm, okay.
I know that like a
Mm,
UBC's MBA program is like over $100,000. Then
wow.
compared from ours, it's like two times more.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I had no idea. Um, Now I know you spoke a little bit about networking. So I have a question. Do you have any good tips, or like one really good tip that you could give to someone who's wants to network but is shy?
Oh, okay. I will share my really my habit to do to become more confident in networking. Sometimes I just stop and thinking about my advantages, what I can offer in society. For
Hmm.
example, like I'm really like the socializing person. Also, like I'm thinking about like I'm adaptable. I like to lead people. I like to solve
Mm-hmm.
the problem kind of things. And then if I remind me about my good qualities, I'm more confident about sharing with the people. If you don't believe your
Mm.
value, how people can value you? So yeah, I do that thing. And then also don't think down about yourself. I know so many people kind of like, oh, I'm not ready for socializing. My English is not that good kind of feelings. It doesn't care. Everyone comes from everywhere, so we are challenging in this society. And then since we share the same problem, everyone tends to like to help everyone. That's what I really like from in Vancouver. So don't think down about yourself and then
Yeah,
also
of
go
course.
many club as possible, especially in
Mm-hmm.
your favorite field. For example, I like to go those art galleries opening reservations, and then I like
Mm-hmm.
to meet artsy people, and then who's doing which art in Vancouver. I like to know, follow the trend.
Yeah. No, that's great. And I definitely do agree with what you said. Yeah, like never look down on yourself or talk down about yourself because I think like even for me, like what I could say that's really helped me in my life in my career, but in just my life in general, is just being confident. Like just having like a confidence, like self confidence. Once you're confident, like other people will notice that too. And man, you will see like so many doors like open up, but you have to like first have that initial confidence in yourself. Because like I feel like if you don't have that within yourself first, like others won't notice you as much. You know, like they, yeah, it's just different the way that people look at you and when you're confident versus when you're not. Because when you're confident, they say, okay, this person has confidence about herself. Like it seems like this person like knows what they want, knows what they're doing, and it just, yeah, it just exudes a much better version of you. So yeah, definitely never look
Yeah.
down on yourself. And
Also, another communication tip I like to share is about be in the moment is the really big rule in communication, because I saw that so many people when they talking with another person, they thinking about different things, like what that person thinking about me, or what question should I ask next, and then it's like
Mhm.
totally passing all the like talking of that person. So
Mhm.
it's kind of like giving that bad feeling to your speaking partner. So in
Yeah,
communication, just be in the present, be confident, and that's all.
yeah, of course, I totally agree with that. Now, I have another question, and this one's a bit different, but still kind of related to future. I want to know, do you think that the skills that you acquire in a school in Canada, like for example, UCW, can help you get a job abroad? Like, say you want to work in a different country, say you want to go back in Mongolia and work there. Do you think that the skills that you acquire here are good enough for a global career?
Yeah, I really confident about my education I gained from here, because as for academic wise, I learned so many things. Especially I'm come from really different field. I learned everything, not everything, but necessary academic things when I like to start a business in Mongolia. It's really enough. And also in Mongolia, we really look up to people who gain their education abroad. There's so many chances in my home country if I go back.
So
Right
it's
now,
definitely
my yeah,
it was definitely like a good thing to study here and go study abroad or go work abroad.
yeah,
Sorry.
yes. Right now, I have a plan to stay here for 3 more years
Hmm.
and then take the opportunity around.
Yeah, of course. Now I want to shift gears a little bit and ask you: does UCW offer any fun events? Like, for example, like do they do anything fun during, I don't know, like holiday seasons? Maybe like do they have like a spirit week? Anything like that you know of?
Oh yeah, there is you can tell like every major holiday. For example, like a Valentine's Day, Christmas Day, Thanksgiving, they hold they created an event in their event hall in the Vancouver House campus. And then it's
Mm,
really fun because every time I go there, there is a photo booths, and then also they offer like a hot chocolate, and then some like on Valentine's Day they offer what is called like a hot chocolates there for free. And then
mm,
it's really too fun to attend with a friend. It creates a shared
yeah,
memory.
yeah. That sounds that. I mean, that's amazing. That sounds great. Yeah, for sure. Now, my other question is how, or sorry, what's the weirdest campus tradition that you've seen here in Canada?
Campus tradition? Like, can you elaborate that question, please?
like like something that's like a tradition that's very specific to your campus, like something that your campus does every year, like something that your school does every year, like a tradition. Like what was the weirdest tradition that you've seen at your school?
Oh, let me think. Because I never thought about it before. But one thing I really like surprised is the land acknowledgement. Every time we start a
Mm,
course, we do land acknowledgement.
right.
My professor or some students do it like
Hmm.
it's turned around. And then as for me, it's really new. It's not a strange, but it's really new to me. And I really
Yeah.
like how they reminding the history and culture to even international students.
Yes. Yeah, and I definitely think it's what you said there is huge. Like, I mean, that is huge in our Canadian and in BC. Like yeah, doing a land acknowledgement is super important, and I love that they do that, and they also show the international students that because yeah, that's that's for us, honestly, and it's huge in our history, and it's very important to the indigenous communities here, of course. And yeah, and I think it's important for all of us to know. Like, it's important for anyone living in Canada in general to have a of that history, and to also know like the land that you're on, right? Because I'm sure that also in Mongolia, like, you know, I don't know if you guys have something similar, but you probably have indigenous communities as well, right? So it's important to always acknowledge that land.
Yes, and in Mongolia, there's a sayings that if you drink in the water from there, you have to follow the rule from their culture. So I really
Mm,
glad that my school is teaching us how to fit in Canadian culture. Even though it's a
right.
land acknowledgement is a really big thing in Canada, and that we need to adapt it. We need to understand how important it is.
Yes, absolutely, because it's important. It's very important. I totally agree with that, and it's especially to the indigenous people that were here. They were here for us, and so it's definitely important to acknowledge and understand that. Yeah, I totally agree with that, and I love that you said that because yeah, it's never been said on the podcast before, but yeah, I really agree with that, and I really do love that. So yeah, but yeah, those were all my questions for you today, Khuslen. Thank you so much for coming to the podcast. It was so lovely having you as a guest. I really enjoyed our time and enjoyed hearing about your experiences coming here and what it's been like for you. And just to give a little bit of a recap to the people watching at home, like, yeah, we talked a little bit about networking, how important it is, and just different tips to network and what UCW has to offer in terms of networking for their students. We also talked a little bit about the weather, and yeah, just honestly be ready for the rain because it does rain a lot here, and also like how to adapt to like, yeah, it being darker earlier. We also talked a little bit about the cost of education, with like tuition, books, rent, that sort of thing. And we talked about a little bit about the difference between high school and university, as well as balancing school and part-time job with a social life. And yeah, and a little bit about the clubs and that UCW offers. That was all for today. So thank you so much, you guys, for joining and listening in. And now my next guest for the next episode is my friend Haley. And some of you may or may not know her, but Haley studied at Trinity Western Psychology, and we're going to hear her journey next time. So yeah, that's all for today. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching.